Hello, welcome to A Watchman's Journal. I'm Diana Larkin. We'll be going over the prophetic words that I heard in my journal this last week from the Father. These are words of great power and encouragement. The title of this episode is The Season Has Shifted. That is great news for all of us. You'll notice I'm not in my usual sunroom. I'm in an undisclosed location at a cabin for a few days away with my husband. So hope you enjoy a little change of scenery. Let's begin with September 21st of 2022, the awesome power of a mighty God. Get ready to see a display of the awesome power of a mighty God. I'm coming to make myself known among the nations, as my strong right arm reaches down from heaven and snatches your nation out of the grip of darkness and tyranny. No one will be able to miss the fact that I showed up in a sudden mighty display of rescue and redemption. The wicked will be caught with their pants down and shocked looks on their faces as I completely expose who they are and what they had planned. The script will flip, the tables will turn, and the house of cards will fall, and my light will expose all the darkness and perversion. Those who were hunting you down to accuse you and to steal your freedom will become those who are hunted, tracked down, and brought to justice. These arrogant, wicked ones will never have a day of freedom again, for they have chosen their future by rejecting me and by pursuing their selfish, perverted ways. Those who thought they had it all will be the biggest losers your nation has ever seen. You, my army of light, will win big. Your enemy will be forced to see you, those they considered nobodies, honored and prospered. Your whole nation will be blessed to be a blessing to the world. Well done, Army of Light, for fighting on with me until you see the fulfillment of all I've promised. You will not be disappointed in the awesome power of a mighty God. I like the wording in this word. He is going to snatch our nation. That's a suddenly, and it is something that expresses in the nick of time and just before. His timing is great. It's going to be a sudden, mighty display of rescue and redemption. Very serious words for those who have chosen darkness. They will never have a day of freedom again, while ours will grow exponentially. Very serious and very sad that that's the future they chose for themselves. Remember, you're not going to be disappointed in the awesome power of a mighty God. So on September 22nd of 2022, the Father spoke 3 words to me: insight, wisdom, and understanding, and led me to Daniel 9:22. He, this is Gabriel speaking, instructed me, that's Daniel, and he talked with me and said, "O Daniel, I have now come to give you insight and wisdom and understanding." Wow. The Father said, "I'm sending messenger angels to equip my people with heaven's insight, wisdom, and understanding. These gifts from my throne will strengthen you to stay the course of these last days of fierce warfare, and they will empower you to enter the totally new era that is coming on the earth. You are being called to walk where no one has ever walked before." Wow. That is how different this season will be to the world. I will give my faithful warriors the insight, wisdom, and understanding to help you walk into this new season and to thrive. You have leaned on me and have fought this war depending on my instructions and my spiritual intelligence. I want you to continue to walk this closely with me into this brand new world. I want you to be blessed beyond your ability to imagine, and I want you to continue to deepen your relationship with me because that's why I created you. And you will find your completion and fulfillment in me. Position yourself to receive, because I'm sending messenger angels to give you my insight, wisdom, and understanding. I want to mention that I did receive that, but it wasn't a real big experience. It was just very quiet, and I, by faith, received wisdom, insight, and understanding, and you can do the same. The Glorious Unveiling is a journal nugget from September 22nd of 2021. There are fierce battles and upheavals ahead, and we've definitely seen that play out, but they will be followed by my glorious unveiling of my plans and my purposes for your life and your nation. The tearing down of darkness, the exposing of evil will rock your world, but when my good plans are revealed, they'll be just as unbelievable at first. You'll be amazed, grateful, and in awe of my good and glory-filled plans. Just as the present evil has seeped into every area of your life, so my goodness and generosity will flow into all the defiled places to bring abundance, healing, and restoration. Let this great hope of my glorious unveiling carry you through the coming days of cleansing and adjustment, as my justice and judgment are laid bare before the world. September 23rd of 2022. This was quite a word. It's called incoming. There is an event coming that will rock the world. Those partnered with darkness will try to make it appear like an attack from another country, but I will not allow that lie to stand. I will bring absolute proof before your nation that it was an inside job planned and executed by people in your own nation with the help of hostile foreign powers. This knowledge of the depth of evil those partnered with darkness were willing to release against innocent people so that they could maintain their power and wealth will shock an asleep and duped nation awake. I am allowing this final assault by the enemy because it will be his complete undoing and exposure. Remember, on one of your visits to the war room of heaven, where you overheard the elders speaking about the coming plans of darkness, the important part for you to take away from this visit to the war room is that for every scheme of darkness set in motion, heaven set in motion countermeasures against it. I have called you to partner with heaven in countering all their plans, especially this incoming attack they have planned, with the release of my host and your declarations to push this scheme back into their camp, where it will explode in their faces. Take the power out of the attack and turn it against them. You are not helpless pawns in this battle of light against darkness. You are warriors, empowered by my strength and my peace, and resting in the full assurance of our victory. The incoming is not just their planned strike. It is about heaven invading with great power and glory. So that's a good word. He's allowing this assault, or what appears to be a serious assault, because it's going to wake up those still sleeping and duped. Countermeasures are always released by heaven, and we are to release them onto the earth. We're not helpless. We're to take the power out of the attack and turn it against them. That is so powerful. What a powerful truth. We need to do that. And remember that the incoming is just not about the planned strike of the enemy. It is about heaven invading with great power and glory. Let's go to the journal nugget from September 23rd of 2021, Dark to Light. As deep darkness and depravity is exposed to the world, it's going to bring shock and trauma to people everywhere. Their world will be shaken as they gaze upon how evil a human heart can become when it partners with darkness. Much of what has been told you of history and current events will prove to be half-truths, outright lies, and misdirection. It will be a time of outer, a time of outer and inner shaking. This is why I've been drawing you close, revealing my power and love to you and purifying your hearts and motives. This will result in you being carriers of my light. And you will be beacons of hope and safety for those around you. Anchor all your hope in me, and I will keep you. As you hear each shocking discovery, loose shock and trauma from your own soul, replace it with my peace, which is the abiding of your soul in my life and love. Pray shock and trauma off of others so they can come into my peace. They'll be able to hear my voice and lean on me totally. You remain in my light, and then you'll transfer this light everywhere you go until light completely eclipses and outshines the darkness, dark to light. September 24th of this year, a very encouraging word. Look who's coming. It was the 24th, so the Holy Spirit led me to Psalm 24. And 9 and 10 says, "So wake up, you living gates, and rejoice. Fling wide, you ageless doors of destiny. Here he comes. The King of glory is ready to come in." You ask, who is this King of glory? He's the Lord of victory, armed and ready for battle, the mighty one, the invincible commander of heaven's hosts. Yes, he is the King of glory. The Father said, fling wide the doors of your heart. Welcome the King of glory to manifest his glory and strength through you. Speak to governmental doors that the darkness has sealed shut, so that their evil would remain hidden. Command that they now open up. You're called to prepare the way for the King of glory to come by your worship, your warfare, and your declarations of what he has promised to do. The King of ages will now come to your nation as the mighty King of glory. I'm dressed for battle, and I will mow down the enemy, and I will bring in a spectacular victory for justice and righteousness. Lift up your eyes and your heart and look at who is coming, the mighty and invincible King of glory. Hallelujah. A journal nugget from September 24th of 2021. Just wanted to share a little bit from this. It's called Desert Wind, and it talked about a hot wind that was blowing up from the southwest, and it was going to scorch the lives of politicians and media. We have seen some truth being revealed from there, but I believe there is a greater fulfillment coming that this word is speaking of. My spirit of truth and burning will eventually blow into every area of this nation until all is exposed before my judgment and justice. So a hot wind of exposure is coming. All right, we're going to move to a journal nugget from September 25th of 2021, and it's called Walk With Me. This is really a personal word for us and really very encouraging. Many of you are facing personal challenges in your own lives and in relationships, as well as the challenges facing your divided, endangered nation. You've allowed me to build your faith and hope in my desire and in my ability to come and rescue and transform your land. I want you to have that same kind of faith and expectation of my power of deliverance, healing, and salvation in your personal life and relationships. This is one of my main goals in saving your nation, is to heal and secure families, because they're the foundation of a free and prosperous nation. Come to me, walk with me over these personal challenges, just as closely as you joined me in my purposes for your land. This house cleaning of evil and sin in your nation will go from top leaders to bottom families and individuals, and a glory will fall and remain on a nation called to be a light to the world, from its leaders down to its families. There is a good future for your nation and your families. Walk with me. And then September 25th of this year, the mystery of my timing. I want you to really listen to this, because prophetic words always contain mystery, especially concerning timing. We often see things through our own bias and lenses, and we can read something into or hear something in a word that's really filtered through our bias instead of what's really being spoken. So we just need to be careful the way we filter things and ask the Spirit of truth to be our filter. Just as my ways are not natural man's ways, my thoughts are not natural man's thoughts, so the mystery of my timing is puzzling and confusing to the natural man. Yep, I'd have to say that. To understand my timing of events on the earth, you must align your spiritual mind with my spirit's mind. To the natural man, my timing will seem to be too late, and that will open them up to fear, and they will judge me as being powerless and uncaring. If they entertain these accusations against me, it will become fertile ground for doubt and unbelief to grow, and they will have no peace and no anchor in this life. That's a serious warning. This is why it's so important for you to understand that there will always be some mystery attached to my timing. I'm not about to give the enemy exact dates and help him out in his schemes of darkness. I also want to help my children learn that they can trust my timing because it is perfect, it is precision, and it is designed to bring destruction to your enemy and ultimate blessing to my people. Handle lightly my way of speaking about time because there's always mystery attached to it to fool the enemy and his partners and to give my people a heads up so they won't be blindsided. Since there's always mystery in my timing, it's good to be prepared, but do not put your life on hold. I'm the God of life, and I always want you living each day to its fullness that I designed for it. Watch and wait, live and play, and understand the mystery of my timing. Isn't that beautiful? Then we have a nugget from September 26th of last year, the summons. Today I'm issuing a summons to my courtroom in heaven. The summons will go out to the many corrupt and crooked people involved in much fraud and much lying. They think their crimes are still hidden because the media is covering for them, but my courtroom in heaven has the final say. As their crimes are laid out in my presence, only the truth will be seen, and my verdict will be issued in righteousness and complete justice. What's laid bare in heaven will be laid bare before the people of your nation. Trust my ways and my timing in the release of all the evidence that is exposed in heaven. Those who help cover up the evidence on earth will be summoned to my court. They will be issued a guilty verdict as well. And he just talks about how the evil may react to that by just ignoring it. But we are to continue to pray that Leviathan, the one who hides and twists truth, will be muzzled, and that my host will break his back, render him powerless to suppress my verdicts from heaven that are coming onto the earth. My summons have gone forth. Now, that was a year ago. I would have thought that we would have already seen these, but God in his wisdom knew what needed to be uncovered before they could be released to us. So September 26th of this year is the entry that episode is entitled for. The season has shifted, and I hope that you have felt this. I feel like we're in a position of power now, and that is a really good feeling. We're not done, we're still fighting, but it's from a very different vantage point. All across this land, the army of light, with their forceful worship and their decrees, help to dethrone dark forces. Last night was the tipping point for your nation. And this would have been the night, Rosh Hashanah, that the Jewish New Year began. My promises, your forceful decrees, your wholehearted worship rose to a crescendo that pushed the ruling powers off the tops of the mountains. And I know that ministries I follow, powerful worship and decrees, night after night were going forth. And those are only the ones I know about. I know that there are many more, some hidden and unknown, just as powerful. The Father says, it pushed the ruling dark powers off the tops of the mountains. They will fall and fail rapidly now, and you will see this played out in the natural realm. The spiritual ruling powers of darkness have fallen, and you will now see the people they use to carry out their dark agendas falling. Complete panic and confusion have now filled the camp of the enemy because they sensed the shift and the loss of dark powers that kept them in place and protected them from exposure. They're desperate people. They're going to attempt desperate schemes. Be vigilant to continue to push back their evil plans, bring them to nothing, boomerang them back upon them, blow up their plans in their faces. Their time now is very short before my gavel of justice comes down hard on their dark deeds. You'll see monuments and buildings and evil systems fall. Call forth my good plans of rebuilding and reformation for your land. Welcome to your new season. That is good news. So we know that in the heavenly realms, those dark powers have fallen. We're going to see a lot of shifting and desperate moves. We are to be vigilant and to combat them, to push them back. God is telling us that He is going to bring forth His good plans of rebuilding and reformation, because we are going to see in the natural not only leaders fall, but things are rooted in darkness, monuments, buildings, perhaps corporations will be included in those evil systems, also government systems of any kind that are founded on darkness. So let's go now to, we're going to end with the journal entry that I heard on September 27th, which is very encouraging. But let's go through our action items. What have we been tasked to do by the Father? How can we partner with Him? We're called to walk where no one has ever walked before. Boy, it sure feels that way, doesn't it? But it helps us lean into and on Him. We're to continue to walk closely with Him and to deepen our relationship with Him. We're to position ourselves to receive insight, wisdom, and understanding. We're to partner with heaven in countering all their destructive plans. We release the host and our declarations to push back the schemes into their camp. We take the power out of the attack and turn it against them. As carriers of His light, we give hope, we loose trauma from our own souls and the souls of others. We speak to the dark governmental doors, we command them to open up. Our worship, warfare, and declarations prepare the way for the King of Glory to come in our midst. And this is the entry for the 27th, the sounds of triumph. My people are coming alive in my spirit. They are arising as my blood-bought sons and daughters who are coming to know my power and the power that dwells in them because they are mine. The very power of resurrection is in their spirits, and it flows out in their decrees, their worship, their bold faith in my promises. The sounds my people are making, the blowing of the shofars, are releasing the sounds of triumph into the atmosphere, and you'll see the victories manifest in the natural realm. These sounds of triumph released before you see them manifested in the natural realm are frequencies of faith that shatter dark strongholds and break fear off your own lives. The darkness shuddered and covered their ears as these sounds of triumph, and quite suddenly they felt themselves dislodged from long-held places of power. Great panic and desperate clawing swept through the ranks of darkness, but they could not regain their places of power because the sounds of triumph kept coming in wave after wave. Watch and you will see panic and desperate clawing in the natural realm as leader after leader falls. The frequencies of my people are now tuned to the frequencies of heaven, and great power is being released on the earth for righteousness and justice. Wow, that's a powerful word. Let's keep the declarations and the worship and the faith coming in wave after wave to bash down, trash the enemy. I did just want to invite all of you that are listening to visit my YouTube channel as well, which is the Watchman's Journal. I have started a new series called Hearing God's Voice. And if that's something you'd be interested in, we'd love to have you join us. Let's end this episode with some prayer. Father, I express to you heartfelt worship and thanksgiving for who you are and what you are doing in our midst. Keep us faithful, strong, and true, and pushing back the darkness until we see every victory manifested that you have chosen for us, your people of light and life. We thank you, we bless you in the name of Jesus. Thank you for joining me.